This world and our culture is moving at a ridiculously fast pace. And we're told that technology is supposed to make our lives easier and more comfortable, but it seems like the more and more technology that's developed and comes out, the more complicated our lives get, right? Some of the things that you might feel every day are hurried, busy, pressured, stressed. Does this describe you? I want it bigger, better. It has to be quick. Now, it's not enough. We are constantly in this cycle of trying to get things done quick. And this is not how this earth or our bodies were designed to function and thrive. It's very obvious when you look at things like plants. Um, Today I planted some seeds to start indoors. It's February when I'm recording this. And so I'm having to start some seeds indoors. And I was just thinking about, as I planted them, how long it's going to take for me to actually enjoy the benefits of the seeds that I'm planting in February. It's definitely going to take probably a few months for them to grow. They have to grow inside, and I have to take care of them and make sure they're watered properly and they get enough sunlight, and maybe they're fertilized. And then I'm going to have to plant them outside and let them grow some more. And then eventually they're going to develop into, vegetables or fruits or herbs or whatever I've planted there. But there's a whole process that they have to go through, and it's a slow process and it requires waiting, right? And so we look at even us as humans. We begin in the womb. We're in the womb for 9 to 10 months. We come out and we're not talking or walking or crawling or reading, any of those things. We have to learn all of those things. We have to slowly develop and learn and grow. And I think when we get to adults, we kind of forget that there's a process to these things, and there's a rhythm and a design, and we don't have to instantly hit those marks and those standards, because these things take time and sometimes they require waiting. If you look at day and night, the sun doesn't come right up over our heads instantly. It gradually moves through the sky, and then it comes, it goes back down, and then we have nighttime. It's the same with seasons. They're gradual unless you live in Georgia. But some states, they don't seem so gradual, but usually it's a gradual cycle of, the spring into the summer, into the fall, into the winter, and then back to spring again. Look at trees. Trees take years and years and years to grow. We've planted a few fruit trees out front, and we're 3 years in, and we still don't see fruit every year. It's going to take some time, and then it takes a lot of dedication to those trees and making sure they have what they need and that they're resourced properly so that they can grow the fruit and the fruit be edible, And so we see the earth was not designed, human beings were not designed in a technological way. We were made to live at a slower pace. Now, this doesn't mean that we need to shut down all of technology and stop all that nonsense, even though, some days there's some parts that I think we all are like, I wish this was not a thing. But it does mean that we need to examine our lives, and for every place in every area that we can slow down and that we can live at a better rhythm and a better design. So sometimes that just means that we need to do things slower throughout our day. We need to take more time. We need to get out of bed more slowly, give ourselves a little bit of time. We need to get ready more slowly. We need to walk more slowly. We need to eat more slowly. Some of us need to drive more slowly. I don't know how many times I've had some rude person like zoom around me only to be caught at the next stoplight and me drive up behind them and just think, well, how'd that work out for you? Like we constantly have this pressure where we feel like we just need to hurry. And that is not how we were designed. And the more that we live like that, the more that we give into that pressure, and that we're constantly on edge and trying to hurry and filling our schedules with busyness, we end up burning out, we end up exploding or imploding, we end up unhealthy, and we make our bodies sick. So resourcing ourselves will require changing our rhythm in some way. It will require slowing down and really giving ourselves time to implement these things. Not only that, but these resources that you will learn to implement into your life are not overnight. They're like seeds. You have to plant them, and then you have to be consistent about watering them and giving them sunlight and letting them grow. As you're going through this course, I want you to think about the way that this earth was designed, the way that your body was designed, and the rhythms that come with that design. Because the more that you can live according to that rhythm and design, the better that you're going to feel, the more that you're going to be able to resource yourself, and the healthier that you're going to be.